Hey everyone, welcome back to the Trust and Podcast. And it's also our first episode back with video because we took a video break for a hot minute, but we're here and for a fabulous human, meet Loretta. We're just kind of obsessed with her. Hi. She's a real estate broker. I just learned a little while ago that she was a competitive ballroom dancer in college. So like we're 100% gonna have to chat about that. Dog mom,
Yeah,
I just very much connect with her because she's very sassy and fun. And like anytime we have a conversation, it's just like, girl, are you serious? Literally, that's a bit like we're just like feeding on the energy. And I want to do
absolutely.
it, right? Like that's totally what happens every single
Oh
time.
my gosh.
And we always switch to like Facebook voice messaging because like
Mhm.
can't get all of this in type. It's just
No, no, you can't. You really can't.
so funny. But guys, I really just wanted her here to talk about her business because she is an incredible badass woman in business. So welcome, Loretta.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm sorry I'm in my car, but this is part of my business. So I figured it was appropriate.
Absolutely. We love a girl on the move. That's totally
Always.
why I have recorded in some wild places. So it's
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. We should do one of these like when I'm on the subway or something like that. 'Cause-
Dang. I'm in a like part of me is like I really should set up like a little podcast area in our apartment so like people can come over because that's
yeah.
just me vibing. And I was like, maybe at some point, but like I also just love that I could pick up a Zoom with anyone and they could just be anywhere. Like I have people like zooming in and they're like walking their dog or like out on a hike. Like they're just like people are out peopling and I'm kind of here for that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's spectacular. Plus, if I think if you had it in your house, we would never leave.
How accurate. Devin would be like, you guys are still recording. I'm like, no, we stopped recording 6 hours ago, but she was just, we're just here. We ordered a
Yeah,
pizza. It was fine.
totally.
So, Miss Real Estate Broker, now explain to my people, because I didn't know this. What's the difference between a real estate broker, real estate agent? How does that?
Sure. Sure. So the difference between a broker and an agent is a broker oversees agents. So I literally oversee all the agents in my office, what they're doing. I'm liable for all the agents in my office. So there's that aspect of it. But I own my own brokerage, Next Level Real Estate, and we are like a year and a half in. I've been an agent for 6 years. I started in the Sullivan County market and I'm all upstate. I'm also licensed in Pennsylvania as a broker. So that is wonderful and fabulous all in the same time because in that area, as you know, from growing up in that area like I did, people bounce back and forth. We're always in PA, like it's right there.
I was going to say, it's so weird for me, and people will get it on the episode too, because we have listeners from all over. But some people are like, no, I've never left the state of whatever, which like seems like a
Mhm.
big deal. But for me, it's like, but the gas is cheaper in Jersey.
Yeah,
That's where the good bagels were. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like,
right,
I'm not skipping the dump. Like, what do you mean? I could be in 3 states in 20 minutes. Like,
right. 100%, 100%. And we would go literally from shopping at Walmart in Matamoros to get gas because it was cheaper over in Jersey and ShopRite and go get pizza over there. Like it's just that's real life. Real life.
it's so, so very true. So I'm curious, and I feel like our listeners would love to know, like, curious if you could share like your journey with how you got started in business ownership, real estate, and like what inspired you to start on this path?
Okay, so fair enough. I've always loved being nosy and looking at other people's houses. Always. I think it's like in your blood, right? And I always I'm curious to see how other people live and decorate and like all that fun stuff, right? So um 6 years ago now, I know previously you knew me. I sold Mary Kay and I love helping people, right? And so like it shifted from helping people feel good about themselves to help them find housing. And that is just a magic in and of itself. Like I help with finding people shelter and that's could be like biblical for some people. So um
I didn't even think
I
about it in that way, but
it's crazy, right?
it really is. And
It
like,
gives you the chills when you think like that.
It really does, because we eventually will never ever rent again, hopefully, because I was not meant to be a renter. Like, people annoy me in general. Like, it's like,
Mhm.
as a therapist, like, I love people, but also like, why would you throw the trash in the front of the dumpster when there's room in the back? Like,
Right,
why would you do that? So, like,
right.
that is like, I'm meant to, like, own a house and land and be like, "Bye, people, I don't have to see you."
Yeah,
So, but even the thought of that, like, I just always know, like, I will go to you or someone like you. Hopefully, you're still doing this when we're doing that very
of course,
soon,
of course.
and because it's an overwhelming process.
It is. It is. And I bought my first home shortly after I became a real estate agent and like put myself through the trenches because I wanted to see what it feels like, right? And it is a very stressful process, but building the right team is 100% where it's at. And so I work with my clients to make sure that they have the right team. And it's just it can be daunting and overwhelming, but we have systems in place with our brokerage that kind of give you a checklist to try and make it easier. And I just love that feeling. Like, oh my God, we did it, right? Like, oh my God, we did it. We're here. And this is our house now. And we get to make amazing memories and we don't have to worry about renting, like the nightmares that you're talking about. Like renting is not for everybody.
True.
Um, then I say home ownership isn't for everybody too, because sometimes people just want to rent and that's okay too.
Yeah.
We can help renters find other rentals. That's a possibility as well. So I just love what I do because I love helping people in such a way that like I know you've seen a lot of the memes that we're more than just a realtor, we're the psychologist, we're the chauffeur, I mean, I've run into situations, crazy situation where someone literally we were coming down a hill, she misjudged it, she busted her radiator, I'm calling a tow truck to try and help her. Like that, I'm just as a realtor, we're that resourceful. We fix the problems that come up. That's what we do.
Yeah,
So
and you've just always been that person though. Like,
always. I've
yeah.
always been in service. Customer service comes naturally to me. I love, love, love. I mean, I started working at the Elder Preserve and the Eldred Inn. Like I was a waitress and a busgirl, and that's where I learned a lot of patience. And it really, not getting the emotional side of things, which it happens,. In this. And so now things have shifted a little for me where I'm doing a little bit more investing. So I know on that side how that feels. So I'm just kind of, I know what people are going through each step of the way.
I could feel that, and I also, like, as you were talking, I'm thinking about what it must feel like to be able to get somebody into their dream home or help
Oh, I
someone,
cry. I cry. I get so
right? Like,
excited.
that never thought they would be able to own. Like,
Yeah.
literal chills. I can't, you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
I mean, that's life changing.
Yes. Yeah. And that's really what we do. So like a lot of what I'm what I'm seeing, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want this, or these are my expectations, or and then it's like, we might not find something because you can't have location and price and condition all at the same time. So you have to like kind of we have to ask the right questions. And so when when you have an accepted offer or something is under contract, like I just get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, we got it. Like we got it. Like I'm like just as excited as they are.
Love that. Also, we're gonna be just know that I'm a handful. So, like, I'll pray for you early.
I
And
know how to handle you though. I got it.
our biggest issue, like, not that this is about me, but like also it's about me. Um, I have Devin and I have no idea where we want to land.
Hmm.
And I think I can't be the only person, you know what I mean? Because
You're
like,
not.
you know what I mean? We're close with our family, but like, I don't necessarily want to be here, but I don't want to be too far, but I don't want to be too, you know, so it's like,
You want to be far enough away that they have to call to make sure you're there because they don't want to waste the trip out, right?
you know,
Still close enough that you could go and see them for the day and you're not like, "Ugh, I have to drive 5 hours to go see them." And it could be a day trip. And then close enough to life and work and all of those things too. You got to take that into consideration as well.
Like that's very much us. Like when we moved to Poughkeepsie,
Mhm.
it was too far. You know what I mean? Like it was we were doing an hour trek or they were doing, so it was too much. But like also like I love Sullivan County. I grew up in Sullivan County. Like my Sullivan County people who are gonna listen to this, like you get it. It's beautiful. It's one of a kind.
Drive
I
everywhere.
I like stuff. I like the grocery stores 2 minutes away. Like I can't go back. I can't go back. I don't
Listen,
ever
and
order takeout, but it's like to go I don't order delivery, that should say. Like I
yeah,
can't do the fee. I get to that point, I'm like, absolutely not. I'll drive that. But like it's an option. I could see it being, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling. Growing up in Sullivan County, I know that it's definitely a huge change.
Mm.
And what I'm finding is a lot of the clients that are coming into Sullivan County, because it's always been second home. We've always had summer people come up, right? Like it's always been like that. And so it's hard to explain that things close at 8 o'clock.
Oh my God. They're like, wait, what do you
Everything
mean?
closes at 8 unless it's a bar. And not all bars serve food. So you better make sure you eat enough before you go out drinking.
But it's a totally different life. Like I think about my
Oh,
brother who's called me and been like, because he'll like handle people's lawns and all the things.
yeah.
People
I
will call
know
me,
Matt. I refer to Matt all the time. He's wonderful.
I will let him know you said that.
Yeah.
He'll be like, somebody called and asked like who's coming to plow their driveway. They're like, so when do they get here? And they were like, no one's coming. That's you, babe. They're like, I saw a bear. What do I do? He was
Yeah.
like, nothing.
You just leave it alone.
Go talk to
Go
it.
inside.
'Cause it's a totally different
Don't
reaction.
bear.
Don't be the bears. Please don't be the bears. But you know
No.
what I mean? Like, it's just like because it's never been someone's reality. Like someone has always taken care of the snow for you.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different beast. We could do this all day, but I do want to because I know you mentioned like where you were a waitress and a bus girl and all the things. Like I feel like I can just tell by your smile, there's a story here, and there's some self growth, and there's some overcoming negativity.
Of course, there's all those things always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
And because you don't become a person like you and I that finds the positive and pushes and grows if you haven't had the other side.
Right.
So what does that look like for you? Are there any moments or experience that like prompted you to really lean into this personal development journey? Big
Whew.
question, I know.
Uh, so, I mean, I feel like we're always improving, right? We're not the same person that we were 5 seconds ago. And I think what clicked for me is I had to start setting boundaries
Mm.
and sticking to them, not just setting them, right? Not just setting them,
It's the
but
hard part.
sticking to
Oh.
that's the part. It's easy to set a boundary,
Mhm.
but sticking to it and owning that.
Especially when you're mad. It's really
Oh
easy
yeah,
to set a boundary when you're having an emotional reaction, but the holding to it, that's always the piece.
correct, correct. And you know what? It's been a lot of self-care, right? So like I learned really early in all of this, like I can't give from an empty cup. If you think of like a cup of tea on a saucer and you're giving from just the cup and your cup isn't full enough, you're going to empty out and you're going to like spin your wheels, and that's when it's a ripple effect. Everybody around you feels that energy. And so you can give when your cup is literally overflowing, right? Your cup runneth over. You can
Yeah.
give when you have stuff in the saucer because it holds it, right? So now you're overflowing. You could give from the saucer and still have a full cup and be successful. And so, I really started looking inward. I started working with my chakras. I started like really working on focusing my energy, because the energy I was putting out was obviously what I was getting back. And I know that's so cliche and everybody says that, but when you step into where you're supposed to be, you feel the shift, right? And so a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, it's scary." Of course it's scary, because that means you're supposed to do it, right? If it wasn't meant to be that. And I kind of hemmed and hawed with the idea when I was opening my brokerage, like, do I just stay where I am? Do I go somewhere? Like, what is going to be the best for me? And yes, I had adversity. Yes, I had people being like, oh, you can't do this. You haven't been doing this long enough. You're not going to be successful. You're not, just trying to throw their opinions on me. And I formed a really strong support system on people that was safe around. I could explain my situation. They weren't going to judge me, and they would let me get it out so I could heal. Because when you bottle up that energy, like literally you're a firework ready to explode.
Oh yeah.
And so I didn't want to explode on the wrong people. I didn't want to be exploding on my clients. Like that's not fair to them either. And so I worked really hard on meditating, grounding. Those are huge things I do every morning.
We
I
love that.
always start with gratitudes. So I write out 10 things I'm grateful for and why. So my sentence starts, I am truly grateful for because when you think about why you're grateful for something, it solidifies the gratitude better than just writing 10 things you're grateful for. And so this is something that I started implementing, and it might be something like today. It was hard getting going. I knew my Monday was going to be all over the place. So I'm like, I am grateful for my car because she gets me where I need to be safely. I am grateful for my eyes so I can see the beauty that this world has to bring on this gloomy day. Like these are things that, it doesn't have to be a person you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my clients. Like there are some things that are repetitive, and there are some things that I'm like, I'm grateful for this because I kind of use it to manifest as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know that when I say why I'm grateful for something, it makes me pause. It lets it settle on my heart. And then I work from gratitude, and I can be poised and well versed for my agents, for my clients, for everybody who comes in contact with me.
Okay, so
Exercise.
my brain
Nobody
is
wants to do it.
yeah.
Like,
There's so
so.
many good nuggets you just dropped. Like I just need you to know that. My brain's like ding 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 because there's so many things.
And I do this at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up. I'm a 5 a.m.er. So I get up sometimes 4:30 if the dog gets me up and he's got to go out. So I get up. I do my gratitude while I'm drinking so I take a lemon tonic for my stomach for gut health in the morning while I'm doing my gratitude. And then I switch to I'm taking active with Plexus right now. And I love it because it gets me through my workout. And so I drink that while I'm doing my meditation, and I'm sitting there. And a lot of times I have to do guided because my brain doesn't stop. So I
Yeah,
have to do a guided meditation to keep me focused in the moment.
same. I'm the same way.
And then I will do my workout, um, shower and do an energy cleanse in the shower, brush my teeth with the wrong hands, tell myself I love you 10 times in the mirror, and then I go to work.
Oh, God, I'm so obsessed with you. I like it's like so ridiculous how obsessed I am with you. I, I, all of that we're coming back, but I gotta rewind you for a minute because I want to pull something that you were just like said it, and I was like, oh no, that's magic. We have to talk about it.
Okay.
You talked about, this feeling of if you're not able to let it out, you're kind of like a firework, and you didn't
Mhm.
want to explode on the wrong people.
Yeah.
How did you learn who the right people were?
Okay. So that is hard to do. It's hard to find your safe space. And so, I have a lot of people who are in business who understand. So I have an accountability call twice a week with my accountability partners. They're other brokers in different markets. So they're all along the East Coast, and we kind of hold each other accountable. And that's definitely a safe space where I can soundboard, and they're like, okay, so let's unpack this. Let's go back and unpack this and kind of figure out
Yeah.
what you could say to be productive and not impact or hurt the relationship.
Mhm.
How can you come at this and not be emotional and be logical and answer the questions they're really asking because they really don't know, but they might be coming from emotion. And you need to just, again, we pause. I get it out. We pause, and then we assess what's going on. I also have some other business owners that I bounce ideas off of. So I never talk to my agents about what's going on. They cannot see. As a leader,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily being over vulnerable. Like I'm not oversharing. They know I have life happen. They know I'm
Yeah.
selective, but I feel like they don't need to know that, I have this going on personally or this going on personally. They just need to know that I'm there to support them any
It's
way I possibly can.
relationships. Your
Mhm.
role is to support them.
Mhm.
If you put too much on them, the relationship switches and they're now supporting you. That's not what it's supposed to be. That's like if
Right.
I went into a therapy session, I was like, let me tell you about my week. We'll get to you in a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the relationship. So
Right.
that absolutely makes sense. And
Yeah.
also, I love the accountability. I will get my Hudson Valley Business Owner group to that. They're like fighting me so hard, and I'm like, just lean in.
Yeah.
We all want to be friends here. But no, I love that.
Well, you know what I think though? I think it's hard for people to be vulnerable because then people and this is something I talk a lot with my content creator about because she's like, Loretta, you need to be more vulnerable about certain things. And I get it, but vulnerability has different levels,
Yeah.
as you know, right? And so like you can overshare and it could impact your business if taken the wrong way. And with social media, you know how things blow up quick, right? And so it could
Especially
be
if you don't really know the people yet.
right,
I mean, like,
right.
I know that, like, we really need to get that group together.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. Oh, I'm frozen. Hold on.
No, you're back.
Oh, I'm still frozen on my end. I don't know.
I can see you. You're moving fine.
Okay. Hopefully it's recording fine. But you know what I mean? Like, there's this reality of sometimes you need to see the people face to
Mhm.
face. And you need to meet them and sit by them and connect with them, and your energies need to be near each other to really know, like, this is a safe person or this isn't a safe person.
Yeah, agreed. And you know what? You could really feel the energy, right? You can feel if someone is all about ego or if they're really truly open to
All right, we're back. My Zoom crashed, so this is going to be a weird cut of video, but it's fine because this is real. So, but just continue if you know where you left.
Okay, so yes, I do know where I left off, I think.
We love it.
Oh, technology. You know what it is my energy is so vibrational today that it's just it's crazy. So, I was saying that you had asked me about finding your safe space, right? And finding those people that you can be vulnerable with. There we go. Okay, so as we know, there's different levels of vulnerability, right? And so like I might be vulnerable with my broker friends a little bit different than I'm vulnerable with my regular friend. People know different tidbits about me based on how they show up in my life, right? And so there are times that I'm finding in finding your safe space, because that was your question, is how do you find those people? It's trial and error and getting hurt and stamped and really you can feel people's energy and you can feel whether they're truly genuine or not. Everybody can read people. Like how you feel around someone if you feel icky or not. So, when it comes to finding your tribe, because that's what I look at it as, they're my tribe. And so finding your tribe takes trial and error, and you guys you have to have something common that you've gone through. And you have to kind of like see how it works. It can't be one side. It's just like a relationship.
Yeah.
When you're in a relationship with someone, whether that's a friendship or, a partnership or whatever, you kind of gotta give a little and take a little and see how that turns, right? So I'm really good at energies. I've taken many energy healing classes. I'm a chakra dance facilitator, like fun fact side, Loretta. So I know how to tell people's energies and what that looks like and how, like, if they're off, if they're going to be an energy sucker, because sometimes we can't have those people in our life, hence the boundaries and holding them, right? And so finding those people with who you connect with is really hard. It's really hard. It's not easy. It's not like, oh, I mean, except for us, we were like, oh, it's different.
But I also think that has a lot to do with the fact that we're so in tune to
Yeah.
those feelings and those emotions. And I feel like you're gonna agree with this statement. I said this to someone the other day who thought they could trust someone and got burned. And they were like,
Uh-huh.
I just I'm feeling so badly. And I was like, no, I get that. I said, and you can be hurt and also separate the fact that someone else's bad choices are not a reflection of you.
Correct.
If you can still show up and be proud of how you were and how you acted, the other
Mhm.
stuff is up. And I'm not going to take responsibility for other people's poor choices.
Well, and their feelings too, right? We can't own somebody else's feelings. And I think that's the hardest thing that we realize, right? We always want to, I'm a former people pleaser, right? Like former meaning that this is real life. And, uh, you feel bad, but to what extent? And
Yep.
it's like, okay, well, like, is this going to consume me? And what benefit does that have? How does that benefit me and what I'm doing and what I'm like going forward with and my vision and goals in my life? Like, do I really need to allow this person to have that much control over something that I'm doing? Right. Like, I had a lot of people tell me I wouldn't make it as a broker. A lot. A lot to this day. People still say Loretta has no clue. But I promise you, I got a clue. I got a clue. So, and I got a clue differently than maybe somebody who's done it traditionally for the last 30 years, but I'm different. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to attract everybody, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm not for everybody.
I was going to say, and that's just life.
Yeah.
And I relate to that so deeply, and I think everyone will, right? Because anyone who has gone out on their own to create, to build something, and didn't necessarily do it the way that everyone else wanted to, immediately you're met with, you can't, you won't, you shouldn't. And
Hmm.
I refuse to accept that information. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, actually, I'm not accepting feedback at this time. Really appreciate it though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I feel that really deeply, and I'm curious because you were a former people pleaser, that comes with how we handle criticism and skepticism, and that can all kind of play. So, how did you overcome that? How did you overcome those naysayers and really decide, like, I'm just going to tune out the noise and do what's best for me?
A lot of, okay.
I'm so ready for this answer.
Uh, so I had a lot of spiritual massages. I
Mhm.
don't know if anybody has had a spiritual massage. I love my lady in Milford, Pennsylvania that does it. She is spectacular. She is so spot on, but she reads the past, the present, if any
Wait,
spirits come through, like it is.
where where is this? Is I'm trying to, because I get massages in Milford too, and I'm like, is it the
Where,
same?
where?
Oh my gosh, I don't know what the address is, but it's in like an old house. It's like a historic thing. Like it's a historic building. I can't, why am I like blanking on her name right now?
Jenny?
Yes, Jenny. Oh, I'm calling you. I'm like, Jenny, you just skipped out on a spiritual massage for me. I'm just getting regular old massages.
Little fun fact about Jenny Chavarelli, okay? I met her when when she owned California Sun and she was doing massages in California Sun. And she has been with me for 20 years. I've been a customer of hers.
I love
And like since she was in Milford, since she opened up shop in Milford, no joke, it's been like 20 years. And so she has seen me and she actually turned me on to chakra dance. And it's like dancing through your chakras and kind of opening them up and letting things flow a little bit easier where you're blocked and you feel like, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. I'm going to do this. So in one of the times she was giving me a massage, she's like, you should try chakra dance. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice. Like whatever you tell me, I do.
I was saying,
And
whatever
so
Jenny says, I do. Whatever she says to buy, I buy. Like whatever you say, Jenny.
whatever yes. Okay. Cause I know there's a higher being talking through her. She is the vessel. Right.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, you got it. So, I was going for massages once a month with her and she's like, what kind of massage are we doing today? And I'm like, whatever you touch me and tell me what I need. Like, I don't know. You know better. You'll feel my body, you'll feel my energy, do what you need to do. And she goes, this thing that you're thinking of, I had not even said two words to her about. She's like, when you come in, don't talk to me. And I'm like, that's kind of rude. And she's like, don't talk to me. I want to feel your energy and I will tell you I'm like, okay, I trust you. I won't say 2 words. That's fine. And it's funny because every now and then she'll check in with me and be like, Loretta. And I'm like, dude, she's like, I know, I feel you. And I'm like, I know, it's crazy. So,
Best with
but
this.
yeah, she is spectacular. So she had told me, like, literally when I was thinking about it, she's like, do what you're thinking about today. You need to do it. And I'm
I gotta
like,
go.
I'm so stressed. So all of the things.
Yeah.
So, she had said, my dad came through. My dad passed away, as you know. And, he came through and he's like, just tell her to do it. And he's like singing songs that were totally my dad. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how does she know this? Like, it is crazy. And she is the reason I'm the person I am today. She 100% is the reason I am the person I am today, because she helped me develop a plan that I'm comfortable with, that I don't like. For example, yesterday I had an off day, like I was off. And
Yeah.
I don't usually do that, but my body was like, you're off, you're done. Like, you need to listen. And she taught me how to listen to my body when my body needs what it needs, because my body knows best.
Mm.
And so, spiritual massage, man,
I'm
no
gonna
joke.
be covered in like Jenny. You were just over here fixing my almost frozen shoulder when we could be doing this. Ma'am, it's so weird though, because I just said the other day, like, she's incredible. I went to somebody else I didn't love. Matthew, my brother, was like, I love Jenny, go here. So I went and I was like, Mom, there's just something like I feel very like
Uh-huh.
to her. And like they think it's hysterical because like I'm like, I talk through the entire massage. Like I talk through, we chat the entire, they're like, you're supposed to shut up. And I'm like, I don't, we're just chatting the whole time. We actually just talk the whole time. And I know you're not shocked by that news.
Like, shut your mouth. Like, no, but you don't understand. I have this and this and this. And
Oh
she's
yeah,
like,
we just the whole time. Because I just am who I am. And she like got a kick out of me because one of my first sessions there, I had done my hair with my curls like this, and I had already like unscrunched them. So when she came in and rubbed my head, it like made some of them a little frizzier. So the next time I came, I was like, no, it's perfect. Like, you're just gonna like scrunch my hair, like, because we know. So now every time she comes in, she's like, all right, before you go, you're good. You're scrunch. And she's like, I know you're here for your hair scrunch. Let's go. And I was like, oh, I love you so much.
so I love her. She's writing a book, and I just know that she is my spirit animal,
Mhm.
in the flesh. And she is one of those people that is my safe space. And she taught me how to create a safe space for people to feel comfortable in. And I think that helps my agents.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I had an agent who has a lot of life going on right now. And I literally was like, give me your hands.
Yeah.
And I took the energy out of her. And she's like, you don't want to touch me. I said, no, give it to me. Give it to me. Like, you're handing me a box. Give it to me, but you got to let it go. Like, give it to me and let it go. So give it to me, and I'll take it, because it's not mine to own. I don't have to own this. This is your thing, but I'll take that bad energy and I can dispose of it easily. I know how to do that. So, but Jenny taught me how to do that, and not how to get caught up in the, like, when people say I'm an empath, they think they have to hold it and own it, and they don't. They just have to empathize with the person going through the thing, be an ear to listen,
Yeah.
let it go. So she's helped me a ton.
I love it. And it's so true about being an empath. You know what I mean? It's really before you understand how to really be an empath, like comes to you natural, but the people are like, I can't stop feeling for everybody else. I feel so bogged down by everybody else's stuff. And I'm like, that's not what it's about. It's really about being able to be the vessel where you can absorb and then let go. You
Mhm.
are this, like you said, you're the safe base for other people. And it's the perfect way to describe it. And that right there for me is what makes you that much more incredible of a broker, because they're not getting, no one is getting that anywhere else. They're getting that from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other places they're getting no feelings, no life, do your job, hit your quota, call me when it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just love it for you so much. I also love Jenny. I'm totally putting her contact email or her contact website in the episode.
Absolutely.
You have to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really, this is for Jenny, for all our local people. Not that she's taking any clients because she's so busy. I was
She's
like,
so busy. I was like, when can you get me in? She's like, April. I'm like, put me on the calendar. I don't care
right? I was
when.
like, ma'am,
I won't let anybody else touch me. I won't. I can't have their energy. I actually went for a massage once when I was in Florida, and it was okay, but like I felt there was something that was holding, like she was holding on to something, and I felt it, and I was like, I just need to get off the table. Like I'm done. I gotta go.
no,
Like I,
I did one other as well, and like it was pre-Jenny, and I swore off massages because when I was done with my body hurt for my entire body was radiating heat for days.
mhm.
And I gotta tell you, the person was like trying to almost like relate. You know how people who don't really know how to relate by like being negative?
Yeah.
They talk shit through the whole session. And I am convinced that I absorbed my body was
Oh
buzzing.
no.
I was like, no, absolutely not. So we love Jenny. But
Yes.
as long as way I want to talk about Jenny all day, which I could.
We could make a whole thing about her.
Really good. And I
Mhm.
also I love that you think it's so funny that I talk because Matthew was like, you can't talk because Matthew doesn't say a word ever. So
Yeah, but he's more quiet than you are.
well, that's
I mean,
everything.
I
I
can
was like,
stand and talk to him for like 25 minutes, but then it's just like he's like, okay, I'm done with you. I gotta go to work. Bye.
yeah, very much so. He's a quiet one. So he was like, "What do you can't talk?" And I was like, "I talked the whole time. I talked from the moment I get there till she walks me outside. The whole time. We talked the whole time. She knows about my when I got my license, my degree. She knows my whole life. She knows everything. Like she's my version of a therapist right now. It's so funny. Oh God. So, anyways, well, I want to know about leading your people. And I know you mentioned like being able to carry that energy for them, but what else does that look like? So if I have someone who's like, because I know I have real estate agents listening. So if we have somebody who's local and is like, I really don't love where I'm at. I really don't love the support I'm getting. Like what kind of support could I or should I, not that I love a should, be getting from someone? And I would love to hear it from your perspective. Like, I don't know what your person does, but for me, it's important for me to blank for your agents. What does that look like for you?
So, oh, I support my agents so much, so much. We do weekly meetings. I meet with them every week. Even if I have nothing to talk about, we're just talking about what they got in the pipeline. I'm with them every week, at least for an hour every Monday morning. It's important for that connection. As a sales team, I know that there are some things that I've pulled from other things that I've sold that I'm like, we need to do this. And I know there's other brokerages that are not doing team meetings. They might do once a month, they might do once a quarter. But we are really about like the connection. There's definitely connection. I offer a lot of that. I offer a lot of tech. So I'm a little bit of a techie nerd. I don't know if you know that about me.
Yeah.
And I'm very animated in my face. So I'm looking at myself going, stop making faces, Loretta. Um, um, And so I'm approachable. And through this conversation right now, this conversation that we've had since I've been on the phone, I've had two of my agents call me. One of my agents is messaging me on Facebook, and they're always in touch with me. And so I am that connected to them. That's something that I've heard that you don't get from other brokerages. I'm here to support you. It's not that I need to, it's that I like to. I like to. And I don't micromanage. I just like to know what's going on just in case you need me to go, hey, can you go do an inspection for me quick? Or hey, I'm needing help with this. It's just we're we're a team, but we're not a team structure. I think that's a lot of where people get confused. So I don't really offer team structures in my organization right now at this point because I feel like one person shouldn't get all the credit for everybody else's hard work. And so I know if I were in that kind of situation, I would feel defeated because my itty bitty amount of work and then the whole team and then the team lead gets all of the
Yeah.
recognition and things like that because everybody's love language is different.
Yeah.
Some people like the recognition and need the recognition and the support and the validation. And so I meet with my agents 5 times a year,
Mm.
once every quarter to talk about their goals. We do a goal setting for the year. And I I work a plan with them.
Yeah.
So I know how to break it down and make it go backwards to get them to where they want.
Yeah.
And I think that's different. I don't think other brokerages are doing that. I might be, that person that doesn't. But back to the tech thing, I have an app. NexLvl has an app. If you go NexLvl Real Estate, I have an app. You can search, you can chat, you can look at. I have an app.
I'm
I
looking at
have
it
an app.
right now. I'm so excited. This is
I
amazing.
totally have an app. I give the agents tools to be successful. I have a lot of local businesses, local sign makers, local print marketers. I have local um I've been talking to Matt about getting on there, like landscapers and stuff, things people need. And
Yeah.
so the app is a work in progress, but I am working on getting other vendors on there. And, we have ad space for people if they're interested, if they have a business and they want to get on there. The sky's the limit as what I can put on there.
Yeah.
So I have lenders on there right now. I have roofers and some contractor people on there right now. So, um, but as an agent, you get access to that. So you can market to your clients a little bit better. So they're not going to realtor.com. They're going next level,
Oh, it's
so they're going to my app. So
a good
it's all
idea.
about building a brand. I help people build their brand. That's what makes me different.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I just I don't get like the stereotypical like pushy got to make the sale like that. I don't get that for I mean I never have, but it's not I know without have never been on a call with you. I've never hired you as a real estate agent. From this conversation and how I know you, I know that you're the person that those people feel supported, not pushed. They
Yeah,
feel heard, not run over.
right.
They feel like you helped them make the best decision for them. You didn't make the best sale for you.
Correct. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's never about me. Whether you're my client or my agent, it's never about me. Because you know what? They're not lying when they say together everyone achieves more, right? So if you're not reaching your goals, who's to say that I'm going to reach mine? And if you're unhappy being an agent for me, then who's to say you're going to put the work in to make the money to do whatever it is that you want to get to your goals if I'm not there to support you? And so I find that a lot of people are missing that, and we're missing the human aspect of things ever since COVID hit. Like things have been Zoom and video and all of the things, right? And so I'm a human. I like calling people and talking to people. And if I'm busy or in the middle of something, I'll text you, I'll call you back. And I always call them back. And so that is the biggest thing, is that they know, like my one agent who's messaging me on Facebook right now, she knows I will get to her because they have access to my calendar. They can see I'm busy right now. They
Yeah.
can see. So they know, oh, Loretta's busy right now. Like, and this is why I'll text her and she'll get back to me during this time. So like I don't hide things from anybody. I'm very transparent about a lot of stuff. And so when you become an agent with me, you get support, you get the tools, and you get the backing behind it. Like I have always sold many, many properties every year since I started. And so it's not just because of COVID. It's not just because I work my tail off, but it's the same with clients. If they don't love a house, I'm not going to force them to buy a house.
I know.
If a seller wants to sell their house or they don't want to sell their house, I can tell. And I'm not going to force them to sell their house, because then I got to force them to do everything else. And I'm not trying to do that. It's your time when it's your time. And like you guys are getting ready, right? You're starting your savings. You're starting to think about, where do we want to land? Like, where do we want to call home? What works for us? Like, you're starting that process now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, hey, I think I want to buy a house today. And they call us. Or one of the biggest things I have is they call the listing agent on a house that they wanted to go see. Well, now you have no representation because the listing agent represents the
Yeah.
seller.
Yeah. No. No, no, no.
And so now you have no representation, and they're not working in the best interest of you. They're working in the best interest of their client.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, I'll work with the listing agent because they'll do a better job for me because they get the full commission. Not always true.
No.
Not always true. And I don't mind sharing. I
Yeah.
don't mind sharing. I will show you anything in any MLS across New York, Pennsylvania. I go all the way down to Long Island. I have agents in Brooklyn and the Bronx and Westchester. We cover a wide area and we will find you a house, but I can guarantee you, I will go anywhere. I will go anywhere.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't
And
care.
it's so, I mean, I get it because it's so very people, but for me and like my Virgo-ness, I'm like, I can't just like make a decision like that. Like I had a list and a plan. Like I'm very
Oh,
much, you know what I mean? Like my Virgo just like shines through in that moment. But I also feel, and you're gonna get this, for me, it's about having the money together, which is what we've been working on for a while, because I know when I see the right house, I'll know it's the house. I'll know, done. And I'll know in that moment. Or if we decide we want to build, and then you'll have to help me find land. You know what I mean? But I'll know I'll go, yeah, this is it.
yes.
Because that's how I make decisions.
But it's not just you. The process of buying a house as someplace you are going to live, and I tell this to all my clients, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna buy a house and then we're gonna rent it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, stop thinking about renting it because you need a place to live right now, and that's a different mind, right? In your I'm living in this house mind, it's emotional. You got to feel it.
Mhm.
In the investment side of things, I'm going to rent this to somebody else. Is this going to make me money? That's a logical thing. That's a different side of the brain. You
Yep.
can't work from both at the same time. So you think differently because the numbers have to matter when you're doing an investment, and you have to feel yourself in the house when you're doing a purchase. That's
Yeah,
not to say you can't buy something like a multifamily, but that's not your choice. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be around people. So don't worry about that.
we're not doing that. No. You know, and like Devin and I, like we'll be together 9 years in February.
Yeah.
Like you know, a long time, like really should like, yeah. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we did everything so not normal, which like anyone who's been following my journey knows that. Like the fact that we're not married like blows people's minds. And I was like, why? Why is that blowing your mind?
He chooses you every day.
He totally
He
does.
literally chooses you every day. What's wrong with that?
And my thing is when we got together, and like I've talked about this on here before, we made a out loud conscious decision that there were different things that we wanted to make a priority other
Mhm.
than the traditional route. No one can ever take from Devin that he worked 2, 3 jobs to put himself through college to get the education that nobody thought he was ever gonna have. That no, I
Right.
mean, Devin did it all on his own. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, that's him. Like I have built multiple businesses from the ground up. I have a master's degree. I'm a licensed. You know what I mean? Like there were certain things that I wanted that I made a choice that I was going to do, and that was going to be our priority. And that's exactly
Right.
what. And it's given us the opportunity to have to go through so many different trials and tribulations in building and growing that anything that's going to happen now, like we know how to handle because we've done so many other hard things. So
Right.
literally when hard shit happens, we go, well, we've done it before. And we just
We
go
can
into
do it again.
we just
Yeah.
go into planning mode. You know what I mean? It's very much how it reminds me of how you and what you're teaching your agents and what you do for yourself. Like, yeah, sometimes we go, okay, I gotta pause. I don't know how many times I love that you say that because I said the same thing. Because I pause to come up for air.
Mhm.
If I am drowning in I go, nope, gotta pause, gotta come up for air. And
Mhm.
that moment of still for me, or those moments of still, give me the clarity to make the best decision. I no longer in my life make emotional decisions. I gave that up a long time ago.
Yeah.
I make decisions with intentionality and clarity. So even if they're the wrong choice, I know that it was what I thought to be the best choice in the moment. And it's okay that it didn't work out because I'm just going to choose another option. I have
Right.
no when
But you
things.
know what that option is
Mhm.
because you've already thought about it, and
Yep.
it makes it so much easier.
Yep, I used to, you know what I mean? And you probably used to same as an empath and over people pleaser. I would rush with decisions. And then I was fixing it there. Nope. I
Yeah.
pause, make a decision, and I'm good with that decision. Even if it blows up in my face, I'm good with that decision.
Right.
And not having to feel guilty or disappointed in myself is a freedom that I wish more people had.
You bring up a good point with that because I feel like a lot of people, how do I say this? Find the words. Guilt and shame are self-inflicted.
Mm, they are.
That
They
hit a little different when I actually said Guilt and shame are self-inflicted because we grew up and, our parents would be like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And they would inflict it on us to where we learned that habit of self-inflicting guilt and shame. I used to say, I can't take time off. I'm
Mhm.
gonna miss something. I can't take time off. I can't do this. I have to work 24/7, 365. I can't take a vacation. What is that? And I would literally run myself into the ground. Into the ground.
That was you in the other room, crazy.
Totally was.
Never,
And
never stopped, never stopped.
and you know what? Like, I can't feel guilty because everybody else gets 2 days off a week. Why can't I take 1?
Mhm.
Everybody in the world gets at least 2 days off, or they schedule something to have a full day off to do whatever they wanna do. Why can't I take 1? Like,
Absolutely.
and not feel guilty. Like, I need time to recharge. And I think this was, going back to Jenny, she's like, Loretta, I can feel in your muscles that you're just overworking them. They just don't feel good and you need to stop. And I'm just like, but I feel like I need to just go. And she's like, you don't. You
No.
don't, because when you put yourself through that, you're in fight or flight mode and it causes a lot of havoc on your heart, your brain, like your composition changes, your chemicals change, everything changes.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
you can't come from that because it's not serving you.
The appointment I went to the week after I quit my job,
Mhm.
get a massage, she literally touched my body and went, "Your body feels completely different. You quit your job, didn't you?" And I went, "I did." She goes, "Wow, that's incredible."
Yeah,
And it's so true. Like when
so
you
true.
let go of the things that are no longer serving you and you give your body what it's asking for, because if you're listening, your body's already always telling you what it needs.
Yep.
You live a different reality when you're listening to your body.
Mhm.
And I don't think people realize that, like how in tune you can be to what your body needs. Like you said, when you were like, you're taking a day, you need a break. Like your body will tell you that.
Yeah.
I've had weekdays where I had 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. scheduled. And I get to about 8 and I go, nope. My body's and I know because I've not listened to it for years and I would get sick, I would get injured, I would get hurt. You know what I mean? And the days where I pause and I reschedule and everyone's looking at me like, "Are you nuts? How are you gonna fit it all in?" It all works out and I actually can approach it with clarity and intention and all the
Yep.
things my body needed because I needed to take 12 hours and do a little healing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely. Ugh.
So I think we've talked about this a little bit. I'm curious. So you and I both know that the thing about being a business owner, a lot of it is really about the heartfelt connections that you make
Mhm.
with other people. They are crucial in business. And the people that don't understand that are, in my opinion, the people that generally struggle. So, what does that look like for you when you're building and nurturing those authentic relationship with your clients, with your agents? Are there certain things that you always do?
That I always do? I mean, so with my clients, I listen a lot. I stand back and listen a lot. I'm one of those agents, like what you could expect from me as a buyer agent for you is that I stand back a lot and let you take it in because it's 100% energy and my energy is always high. You don't need to be confused about how you're feeling about a place if I'm talking. So I'm usually super quiet until you ask me to chime in. And so I hear the things that you're pointing out that you don't like, the things that you do like. I hear about kids and pets and all of these things. And I just take mental notes. And I have a client relationship manager tool that I use that I go back and I do, oh, that was his birthday. That's why he couldn't meet with me. Put it in there and send a card. Like that'll be a card that I send. Or like for example, one that I just closed, his kid loves soccer. So I got him a soccer ball as a closing gift for his new house. Like, so like those kind of things are things that I listen to because it's what makes people feel heard. It makes people feel heard.
The way I always phrase it is I make people feel like people.
Well, Mary Kay used to say, make me feel, everybody wears a sign that says, make me feel important. And that was one thing I learned when I sold Mary Kay is that it's not about me. It's about them and how they feel. And that's the most important thing. And there are times that, trust me, I'm just like, I don't understand why we're looking at the 50th house right now when we found 20 that were really good. And it checked all your boxes and you still want to look. Like, become a realtor if you want to look at houses as a
If
career.
actually you want to be an agent, I
Yeah,
think you should just be an agent. Babe,
I'm
you can
like,
do this on Zillow. Like,
right. Well, I have to tell you though, when I was buying my house, I physically looked at 50 houses. So don't get discouraged if you can't find it. I mean, some of my clients, with the price is so high, I've been looking with them for 2 years and the deals fell through, or they found something in the inspection that they didn't want to take on. Like, there's been a lot of things, right? And so life happens and things happen. But it's your first home, not your forever home.
mm,
And I always tell, that's another one of my things. It's your first home, not your forever home. And while it might be good for right now, you can always buy another house, right? We come from a generation of you're in more than one house for your life. My parents, actually, our parents were probably like maybe two houses in their life. Our grandparents, where you live in that house and you die in that house, right? So times have changed. It is not your forever house. You might get relocated for work. You might, like, the life might happen and you don't even know.
yeah,
But so many people get caught up with, this is the house and I'm going to be here forever. This is the only one I can do. It's not. It's not.
true.
It's really not. I've
It's
lived in
that
my
whole
house for
reality of
5 years.
nothing has to be forever if you don't want it.
Nothing. Nothing has to be forever.
Oh, it's so true. And I have to ask because I was thinking about grandparents, older homes, and this will tell you where my brain goes. Any of the houses that you've seen, because I know there's a lot of older houses in our area, plus all the places you've been, like, have we had any like there's hauntings here houses? Not to go all the way over here, but like that's what my brain does. So you're just leaning into my crazy. It's fine.
I mean, I don't, okay, so I'm not gonna pretend I'm a ghost whisperer. Do I feel things because I'm high tune energy? Yes, I feel things because I'm high tune energy. I can't say that they're haunted. I don't know. It could just be the energy I have hanging around me.
Maybe. My see, that's where we differ. Like Matthew was all like older home. I want to do things, but and Alex is like absolutely not new build only. We're not gonna have ghosts here. I'm not even playing the game. We're not even risking. And I was like, you're so dramatic. He was like, no. Like
There are times, so I went into a house with a client. We looked at this house twice, and she's like, I don't like the way this feels. We're not even going in any further. Like, get out. And so a couple months later, it was still on the market. And she's like, let's go look at this house. And I'm like, we already looked at that house. You didn't like that house. She's like, something is calling me to this house. And she's very, very spiritual, very into, like, she does readings and stuff like that. And so, and healing, she's a healer. So she does a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, all right, we'll go back in. I just opened the door, whatever. It's fine. And she's like, they must have saged it. They must have cleared it out because the energy feels different in here. And she wound up buying that house because she was told by something
yeah,
to buy that house.
that's so interesting. I just love it. I feel like it's you have one of those incredible just opportunities to interact with so many different humans and you get to be
Mhm.
a little part of their story. Does it ever
Yeah.
feel like that?
It it feels really cool. Like, it feels really neat. Like, in that lady's interest, she was actually downsizing. She got to a point in her life where her house was too big for her and her dogs, and she just couldn't do it anymore. So she's like, I need something smaller, more manageable. I can't, this big 5 bedroom house just doesn't do it for me anymore. And so, yes, I touched their life in such a, I touched your life, and that's magical. Definitely, for sure.
I love it. So I know I must, after this conversation, I know I have listeners who, if they were kind of interested, they're now very interested, but hesitant
Mhm.
to really take the leap and become a real estate agent. If that's the case, and those people are listening right now, which I feel like they are, what steps would you encourage? What mindset shifts? Like, what would you recommend for someone who's like, I might want to be a real estate agent?
So fair question, very good. So I did my course online. A lot of the courses now are online. When I went for my license, I was actually working full time. And I find that that's okay. It takes a little bit more work, managing your schedule and your life. The class is 77 hours. And it can be done online. You have to take two tests. One is the course test. You have to pass the course test. And then you have to pass the state test and the state exam. Um, and a lot of people, what I'm finding in a lot of the real estate mastermind groups that I'm part of is that people are like, oh, what's on the test? When you take a state test, it's like doing boards for your hair, cosmetology. Like they teach the class to pass the test. A lot of the stuff you're not going to learn. A lot of the concepts you will use because you need to know certain things. But there are some things in there that you're probably never going to come across.
Yep.
And that's normal. They want to make sure you're well-rounded. But if you're looking at taking a course, I have a discount code that I get through one of the organizations I'm part of, so they can reach out. Why not save some money on the course? And then you have to sign up with a broker. So as an agent, you have to have a broker, whatever that is, whether that's NexLvl and NexLvl's for you. I'd be happy to have a conversation. But you should interview brokerages and see what they offer. It's not necessarily. So what I looked for when I was doing this, I wanted someone that was going to hands-on train me. I just sat in class for 77 hours or however many weeks I could accommodate that. I wasn't trying to sit behind a computer and take more courses on how to do stuff. Take me out in the field and teach me how to do it. So like, for me, I needed hands-on training, and that's what I offer. Like that's what we do. So for my people, I've given hands-on training to my new agents who know absolutely nothing, and who I show them a couple listing presentations. I show them what to ask with buyers, the right forms to fill out, and then I'm here just to support behind the scenes. And that's what I do. So you definitely need to interview brokerages and see what they offer. You want to know what your commission split is. Obviously, we make money doing this. You also want to know if there's any other benefits that are important to you as an individual. So like when people are like, I'm looking for a new brokerage, what is important to you? You asked me that question before, like what makes NexLvl different? And it really depends on what the person is looking for. Like I have people who don't necessarily need the support. They just need the tech and but they want to know that I'm going to answer them when they call, so like I'm there for them, but they know how to do the job. They don't need a lot of direction or anything like that. So find out what's important for you as an agent. What is it that you look for? Like, even if you're looking for a job, what is important to you? Do you want the friendships and the stuff? Like we go to lunches every now and then. I was just in Wappingers with a couple of the agents. We went up there for a lunch and learn with a title company. So like, what is it that is important to you? Are you looking to be part of a family that's not dysfunctional and fighting all the time? And that's us. I'm from a big family, so we know how that works.
It's
Um,
very
or are you
true.
looking for somebody that's just going to be there to support? A lot of people are like, oh, it's the brand, it's the brand. I have a kick-ass brand. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse,
Yes.
but I can tell you that I worked really hard with my content creator to build an amazing brand in my first year and a half, and I couldn't have done it without her. She is absolutely spectacular, and she has literally made things so much. I'm so much further into my business than I would be if I tried it myself.
We love it. We love good people. And I love your confidence in not only what you bring to the table, but your confidence into the other people that you bring to the table. You mean like you're not like, it was me and I did it all myself. You're like, no, I do all kinds of things, but I also know when to outsource and bring in people who specialize in other things to make this that much more incredible. And
Yeah.
I'm confident enough to also give them the credit.
Yes. Yes. No, I can't take all the credit for it. I can't. And you know what? Like a lot of people, that's an ego thing, and I don't play ego well. Because they want the attention and the accolades and all of that. Listen, there are plenty of things that I do that are spectacular and wonderful. I'm a part of lots of organizations. I give back. I do the things, but I also know there's some things I'm really not good at, or I just don't have the time to do it. So
Yeah.
I need those people to help me because it takes a village. It takes a village. It really does.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I'm just thinking all the outreach and all the things you do, we didn't even touch on your photography. Didn't
Yeah, I
even
kind
go there.
of, so to be 100% honest with you, I kind of put it on the back burner with my photography, but I did find a way to help use it as a fundraiser.
I know.
So
I was waiting for
I
you to bring that up because that was incredible.
I love it. So I'm actually not a Christmas person. I'm not like, yay, I love Christmas. That's just who I am. But I love the magic of Christmas when little kids love Santa. And so I am on the St. Jude, the Thunder 102 Country Cares for St. Jude Kids committee. And we raise money mostly in Sullivan County, but any money can go towards St. Jude. It's a great cause. And I do photos with Santa. And so we're all over the county. We're this year coming, we're going to be over multiple counties doing this. I'm so super excited. And we raise money. And last year, the organization, I think we were over 125,000. We doubled our goal in the year. So we do stuff throughout the whole year, and then we do a radiothon. And at the radiothon, we calculated over $125,000 for St. Jude.
That's incredible.
So exciting. So exciting. I also partner with an organization called the Single Bite, which helps feed families in Sullivan County. It also goes into the schools in Sullivan County and teaches them the difference between real and processed food. And they grow gardens together, and it's just a wonderful cause. So I definitely work really closely with them, and realtor events that we do. What else? What else? This year I'm the vice president for the Sullivan County Board of Realtors, so I'm on the board for that. Yeah. So there's a lot. There is a lot that I do. I love giving back. And so with the photography aspect of it, it's a great way for me to use my talents, or my past life, as I call it, because I did photography for a long time.
You
And
did?
so it's a way for me to use that to help raise money for a great cause. And I love that.
Oh, I love that too. And I have been itching to kind of, now that we're back in the area again, get involved with other fundraisers that are closer to home and things like that. So I'm gonna be touching base with you on that because I would love to contribute and help in any of the ways that Devin and I can.
Absolutely.
Well as I'm gonna have you send me the links for any fundraiser stuff so we can put that in the episode too, so people can
Okay.
out and look and all of that stuff because a little bit goes a long way when a lot of people can do that.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna have to share all of that stuff. Well, I do want to
W-
ask you two more quick things before,
Okay.
because we're always like, it'll be a little, and then we're here for an hour and a half because, you know. So, my first one being, because we always go a little lighter at the end, I want to know what your perfect breakfast is. I ask all of my guests this question.
Okay. So I am one of those people that I will eat any kind of food any time of day. But if I had to pick a breakfast food, I
Okay.
am a corned beef, hash and eggs, over easy, home fries, gluten-free toast, no butter, just jelly. That is my jam. But if I could have sushi every morning, I would eat sushi every morning.
That's with you. That's so good. And also, there's something about an over easy egg and corned beef hash. Like,
Mm,
there's just something
that
about
is a thing.
always, always. And I have to tell you guys, I did ask Loretta this question kind of the other day, so I think I have an idea what she's going to say, and we're going to chat on that for a second because it's interesting. But I asked you about, because I always ask my guests about like if there was ever a fantasy world they could get into, and is that your vibe? Is that not really your vibe? I mean, tell me if you're like, no, no, reality is my thing.
Yeah, reality is really my jam because so I've done a lot of um I don't read or anything like that with fantasy kind of things. Like I've seen movies and stuff like that, but again, not really something I totally enjoy doing. I might veg out to like a Disney movie or something like that if I just need to turn my brain off, right? Because they're light and cheery and I don't really have to think. I could just whatever.
Nope.
So reality is totally, totally my jam. Um, so I was thinking about this because I've done some past life regression.
Okay.
And so that's a fun thing. You should try that. Jenny doesn't do that, but you should try that.
Really?
I had some people that were learning how to do past life regressions, and I can turn you on to the person. Actually, I think she's closer to where you are.
Yes,
And
please.
so I learned like what I'd done in like past life stuff. And so I'm like, I don't think I really need a fantasy because I've lived in different times where
This is the
you
best.
would see these fantasy things like Bridgerton, like I did that, like
Part.
Mobster did that. Like these
This
are
is
real
literally
life
the
things.
best answer I've ever received. She's like, fuck your stories. I already been lived
I
this.
did it.
I'm
I did
so
it.
obsessed. Also, you as a mobster, I could totally see it. 1,000% I can see it. Like, amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Yes, I absolutely have to do that. I absolutely have.
Yeah.
See, I knew we were gonna have a blast. I knew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course.
You're
I
gonna
mean, we
yeah,
could
and I'm
still
just
go on.
oh yeah, we could for sure. We're gonna have to have
Yeah,
you come back and we'll just pick another topic and then we can just talk forever. That's really what we'll do.
that's fine. That's totally
So,
fine.
guys, in the notes of this episode, I will drop all the ways that you can get in contact with Loretta. You also should follow her on social because it's adorable and she posts all the best stuff. We're gonna put up fundraiser stuff. We'll put do they reach out to you if they want the discount code for the course, or can we put that? What's the easiest for you?
I don't know if we can put the link. We can try. I can get you the link and see if it works that way. That's totally fine.
Yeah, but either way, I'll put your contact. So, guys, if I'm assuming I'm going to talk for you because that's where we're at now. If they have questions, it's cool to like DM you or reach out or whatever.
Totally cool to DM, reach out. I got some fun things coming up at the end of March. Like,
Ooh,
oh girl.
we
Oh
love a
girl.
surprise before I let you go. So, what do you get? Now you got to tell me. So, what's coming? What are we? Anything you can share?
Yeah, I could slightly share. So I'm super excited that I've partnered with my content creator and we are creating an agency to help agents. And so it's going to roll out like mid to end March. And I will definitely keep you posted so you can let your people know what's going on. But it's really going to help them be well rounded, empowered, like all the things. So I'm super, super excited about this. Like, I'm literally working on this so hard with her right now. We have a huge meeting on Friday with the whole team, and we are getting together to just finalize everything before we go like to that next step. So that will be on my website. We will definitely be posting content about it. So follow now so you are the first to know. But I am so, so excited for this. It's almost like, you know, when you have like, and you understand this more than anybody I know, like when it just doesn't feel right and you're like, oh, but there's something more I could be doing. This is the more that I can be doing just to literally like give back to so many people and just help them succeed so much more in their career with real estate. I'm so, so excited. Like it's weird because we were talking and then we were saying the same thing, like literally. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is it. This is totally it. So,
Gosh, I
oh,
can't wait
I'm
to
so
see it.
excited.
It's gonna be so good. Guys, I will connect you to all things Loretta. We will have to have you back to have another chat because we just vibed so well. Thank you so much for coming on today. I
For
appreciate it.
having me. It was so much fun.
Okay, guys, I will see you next week. Bye.